to see you again.
Nice to see you.
How are you? How is going everything?
No, fine.
Any change from last session that we had?
No.
You remember the result of our discussion last session?
Well, you said something about some high scores. I think there was that I'm afraid of moving.
Yeah,
It was
true.
a score quite high, and I think you mentioned something was
Oversensitive.
yeah, central something.
Well, unfortunately, we were out of time and I couldn't really discuss it with you completely. But today, I'm going to give you all of the information that you need about the pain, the type of pain that you have, and the condition that you're in.
Mhm.
So, but beforehand, do you want to add any further information, or if you have any question?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, first, beforehand, that I want to start to talk about the type of the pain that you have and the condition that you have. I want to know, do you have already any information about what is pain, how does it produce, or different types of pain, or the thing related to your condition?
Well, I had the pain since I lifted, and then the MRI was taken, and then I was told I had this degeneration.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, because my disc is degenerated, that there's something wrong there. So, well, of course there's something wrong because it's degenerated.
Mhm.
So that's where the pain is coming from.
Okay. Well, what if I tell you it's not necessarily that, but it's a common thought that people and mainly patients have?
So what do you mean it's not that?
Well, but it's totally understandable that you feel insecure of re-injuring your back and also hurting your disc. But the thing is, well, first of all, to clear the disc degeneration thing for you, discs are made out of some fibers and collagens and some.
Collagens?
It doesn't matter the details, but they are made of some fibers, and by aging, by aging, they are going to be degenerated and decline and maybe a bit loosen and these kind of things, and it's a normal thing. So it's not a weird, odd pathology that happened to you. We are all going to have that by aging. So it's an age-related thing, and it's normal.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't mean that because you have this degeneration you cannot move at all, or you cannot do any other activities anymore, and you should only rest, and you shouldn't use your back anymore. It doesn't mean like that. With improving your strength, your stability, your body, your physical capacity, and with being cautious also of the movements that you're going to do, and knowing your capabilities, you can prevent injuries, and you can have a safe, active life.
Okay, but what was it about that you mentioned it's not, but then there's still the pain coming from the degeneration, though, because you mentioned that it was something else?
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying. The disc degeneration, okay, not necessarily can cause pain. It can kind of, but at this point you had the time period because it happened 16 weeks ago, and you had your period of time for healing, and basically if it was any damage, it's already healed, but the pain is persistence. That is also the other topic that I want to discuss about it. But first, about the disc degeneration, I want you to clearly understand it, that it's a normal thing. It's not an odd thing that happened to you.
Okay.
But do you have any question about that? About the disc thing?
No.
It's okay.
I don't think so.
But in the middle of the session, if you felt you want to ask, feel free to ask.
Okay.
But about the pain that is persistent, well, first of all, I want to tell you how the pain produce, what does it mean? Let's say there is a compression or a wound or any stimuli can be on my finger, on this finger.
Mm-hmm.
And that stimuli creates a signal, and the signal goes through my nervous cells to my spine, spine,
Mm-hmm.
through the spine, and then it goes to my brain, and my brain decides to feel the pain or not. And if the pain feels the pain, it can have like different meanings. It can be like, okay, you have a wound on your finger, take care of it, wash it, put a plaster on it, just to avert you. So it acts like awareness. But it also can be a protection, a prevention from further injuries or a threat. Like for example, imagine that there's like 1,000 pieces of glasses on the ground, and I will step on it. And then my brain sends signals over and over again that, yeah, okay, there is a pain here, a huge pain here, and it's a threat, and I need to step on the glasses so I prevent further injuries and I don't damage myself. So it acts as a protection, a prevention of further damage or any further threat.
Okay.
So that's basically how the pain produced and what does it do.
Okay.
Is clear for you?
Seems fine.
Okay. And about the pain that you had, well, pain is not normally equal, not always equal to a physical damage, a tissue damage. It can come from a tissue damage, but sometimes in your case, let's say, even if you had a damage, it's already healed because you had the time period for healing the tissues, but the pain is persistent now. So when a pain stays for more than 3 months, we call it a chronic pain. And if I want to just give you an example, like here is the nice overview and a picture of it, and I will use a metaphor for it so it's easier to understand for you. It's like our nervous system is like a radio, which it does have a volume knob, volume button for volume up and down the sound. And when you feel the pain and you have the damage, the knob is going to increase the volume, and then you're going to see like, okay, there is something going on and you will do something about it. And then when the tissue heals, the volume knob is going to decrease the volume and everything goes to a peace. But in this case, everything is healed, but the knob is still on, and there is still like the brain still thinks that, okay, there is something, and it feels the pain without the actual tissue damage. So that's the thing that I did say. The brain and the nervous system is oversensitive to stimuli, and it creates pain and it without having an actual tissue damage.
But why is the knob still up?
Well, that's the thing. Let's say you like dogs, and you want to just go and pet one of them, and the dog will bite you. And well, 1 week after, you go to pet another dog, and then it also bites you again. So from now on, you will see any dog, you will scare that, okay, it's going to bite my hand again. So it's basically your brain is kind of traumatized and overprotective and oversensitive over the stimuli, even though it cannot, maybe it doesn't cause any damage, but it creates the pain.
But why is then the knob still up?
Well, it is oversensitive to the stimuli.
But what's creating the oversensitivity? Well, is the knob still up?
Well, different factors can influence this thing, like having stress, having lots of pressure from work, from family, from the social circle, having the wrong illness perception. These kind of things can also like intensify it.
Okay.
But was it clear for you?
So my stress at work could have contributed?
It can definitely have an effect on it. You will feel more sensitive about the stimuli and the pain. Yeah, it has a bad effect on it.
Okay.
But was it clear for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And also the other thing that I wanted to discuss with you was, which I didn't ask last session, how do you cope with the situation? Because I know it's a hard condition, your work, all of the stress, how do you manage it?
Well, I used to go bowling, like sometimes with my friends, to just leave the stress out of my mind. Yeah, since I can't do the bowling anymore, I now, I don't know, I hired also at work some colleagues who do the hard work for me, but I talked to my wife about this, but then she's like, nagging all the time, or that she says that I'm nagging all the time and I shouldn't over exaggerate anymore. But then I have the pain, so. But now since you told me, it's more my brain telling me there's something, or the brain is detecting danger, which is not there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will tell this to my wife, but yeah.
That's understandable, but so far, if I'm not mistaken, you did reduce the amount of activities that you had. Is
Yeah.
how you are coping with it by not going to bowling or hiring colleagues in your
Yeah.
workplace. Okay. Well, it's if you have an injury, let me put it this way. If you have an injury and you need time to heal, it makes sense to give your body some time. But when it's consistent, it would be like a negative cycle for your body. More you stay inactive and avoid being physically active and moving, your muscles will decline, your cartilages will decline, and your physical capacity will drop. And then you feel the complaint worse. So they help each other, and you have the more of the complaint, then you will be more inactive, and it also influences that. So it's like a negative cycle, and when you stay inactive, it happens. So it's also important to know the importance of being physically active and moving in a conscious way with building up your physical capacity, but it's important that you know the importance of it.
Okay.
And do you have any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so far we did cover that pain is not always equal with tissue damage. We did discuss that disc degeneration is a normal event. It's age related. All of us are going to have that. And also we discussed about the pain and the type of the pain, how it's going to produce, and these kind of things with each other. And now I would like to be more practical with the fear that you have, but we are not going to be able to cover all of the problematic movements in one session. So each session I'm going to work on one of them. Is okay by you?
Sounds good.